Good evening, good evening, good evening. Maybe daytime where you at, but it's evening where I'm at. I just want to say thank you to all the people that's been subscribing, all the people that's been supportive. I'm coming a little different tonight. This was going to be a tester, but I wanted to speak on a few things. This week has been, a little difficult. I'm Jay Dunlap. Got a mentoring program called Visionaries Inc. I work with young men, grown men. I talk to everybody, anybody I can spread love and breathe life into. I try to give that. Um, Tonight is a time for me to open up and be vulnerable and allow this to be an experience for me and hopefully an experience for you all. Got to give one main big shout out to my wife, Victoria Dunlap. Her birthday is this weekend. Our turn up is a little different because my grandson's birthday is the same day as her. But we're going to enjoy both of them. We're going to thank God for those days. Thank God for the time that we spend together with family and friends and whoever comes that want to share into the festivities. Um, but like I said, tonight is a little different. I am solo. Shout out to my co-host. I'm coming on, and this is really an area of vulnerability for myself because I'm not used to public speaking. I really don't. I don't like the public speak or be on the front lines a lot of times, just solo by myself. But a lot of times God puts us in positions that He wants us to grow in. He wants us to come out of our shell and open up to what He has for us. And so many times we allow frustrations and fears to stop us, insecurities to prevent us from speaking. And that's one thing, I want this platform to be something that men can step out their shell with. I want them to be able to see something in me that gives them the strength and the courage to say, yo, man, I can do it. It's enough room for everybody. I am somebody this is my life. I love teaching. I love mentoring. I love just I love being a servant. And once you've been through so many things, God prepares you and puts you in a certain position that you have to understand that's truly what we're meant to be is servant. Humble servant. And by that, you got to carry a certain level of integrity. And I think that's what's been lost in our communities. This was a big thing. And the topic was always about men. But it makes it hard for women to follow or be led or be covered or protected when we're not representing the love and the strength that we were created with. This evening, like I said, I may be a little off track at times. I may be gathering thoughts, but this is just straight up, straightforward. That's why I put it as a topic of straight talk. Last week I think it was we talked about flowing, how every other entity on this planet knows how to flow with life. And this week my spirit got disturbed, and I don't want to put it on the eclipse, but my wife sent me something that really it made you think. It made me think. And the gentleman was talking about the sun and the moon, negative and positive, and once they come in contact, that's friction. So that affects not only the planet, the world, everything that goes on in the world affects our eternal body. So a lot of it could have been just emotional, a lot of anxiety. It came down to stepping out on a platform with myself, speaking, not saying this is always going to be this way, But tonight, my wife went to the head and she took our youngest son with her, and she doesn't even know I'm doing it. So uh, this doesn't make her happy because she's really been bothered by the fact that I've just been in a mood, and that's why I want to get on here and speak to us men. It's okay, brother. You know, we're gonna go through things. We're gonna go through things eternally. But one thing I did is I let my wife know how I felt. And I think that's a big, big issue with us as men is that we don't pour into what God put there, and she can carry the weight. She carries our children. She carries life inside of her. So never think that she doesn't possess that power to carry your load. She's she's been put in your life for that reason, and you're not meant to hold it all in and take all that weight and that blunt. And really, my wife is a soldier, and I called my mother the goat. You know, I got an aunt that took me in when I was in trouble and raised me. And those women like that, that's why I have the utmost respect for women. My mother-in-law, my daughter-in-law, my daughter. You know, every aspect of a woman, I'm proud of just because how they poured into me, how they held me down and loved me. Um, you know, we lose my mother a couple of years ago. This matter of fact, this year, this week right here is the week. She passed a couple of years ago, and as crazy as it is, I probably had more anxiety about getting on here than took place when she passed because she equipped me, and that's something that like I said, I'm probably gonna be jumping around, but just stay with me, stay focused, enjoy the time that you have with me and the work that I'm gonna give out. You know, she prepared me. That's something that most of us as parents don't realize that we must do. No matter how much we love on our kids and want to protect them, want to spoil them, first thing we got to do is prepare them because this world out here is getting worse. It's getting so much worse for our young with social media and all the other things that come along with just growing up in America as a young man or a young lady. So we really have to cover them and guide them and protect them a little more. And watch what we do around them. Watch how we handle ourselves. Watch what comes out of our mouth. Let's protect their ears. The tongue is wicked, man. And say stuff that tears people. We could tear grown up down. So imagine what we can do to a child. So just remembering that we must always stay in adult and child place and role. Carry that with some integrity, and that's why I said integrity is a main word for me because I want to mimic that. Honesty, uh, compassion, you know, it's a form of purity. When you have integrity, you, you act differently. You carry yourself with a certain level of respect. And it's not thinking that you're better than anyone. It's just understanding that with what God put in us, and once you get through the digging out the trash that we all come with and figuring out the purpose and calling and direction you need to go in life, a lot of times that's when that part of the integrity starts to grow. I don't want nobody to see me as somebody that's not true. We all, not all of us, but most people everybody that I know believe in God. I did run across one guy one time that was years ago that really did not. His argument and his fight was he didn't believe in God, but to each his own. Um, we must understand we here for a reason. We got here. It's a miracle. Imagination. That's the key thing with learning and operating from a place of purity. because it gives you that childlike understanding when you indulge into the inner soul of what we come from. Um, you really start to use that mind to imagine and dream things. Like we speak, these are things that I dreamed about. These are things that I told my kids. Um, that's what I'm going to do is speak and spread the spirit of life. It's hard a lot of times because we don't come in taking the platform besides in the church, or besides different areas of entertainment. But when it comes down to regular, I look at myself as a regular guy, but I'm definitely a guy, a man of God. That's that's something that I have. We all possess that power, that energy that comes from God, but we really have to get down to the basis and learn more about just being honest. When I came up, we used to say word is bond. Your word was your bond. And I know everybody didn't go by it, everybody didn't stick to it. Even us as young kids, not understanding the relevance of your word. And it really means a lot. Your word, your voice, your tone is really what you have as a certain level of identity. We all carry a certain level and a different degree of identity. That's something that I'm learning more about myself. It's not just my fingertips. No, it's not just the way I'm built with my statue. It's, it's, it's the voice that God gave me. And understanding that that voice was meant to spread life. Um, it's so many times me and my family can be out and someone can just stop me and say, man, you have a wonderful, beautiful voice. I just say thank you. Not never realizing that those are the signs that God kept sending forward to tell me this is what I want for your life. We're so busy trying to create businesses and indulge in different type of entrepreneurial type of type of jobs or creating jobs or creating careers. That's what creating careers. We're so busy trying to create a career or be this entrepreneur. Um, and a lot of times we're missing our gift. Um, Vicky, shout out to, she told me today that, to use my gift, use my voice. And truthfully, she brought me to tears because I felt as if God just sends me messages through his vessel with people that he surrounds me with that loves on me in that moment in time that I'm feeling unsure about this. And not necessarily unsure in the fact of my capability, but that fear of embarrassment. And that's the thing. Um, Public speaking, they call it glossphobia. And it's a fear of speaking in public, a fear of embarrassment. And that's something that I think I had, but I've also had something in me that said, I gotta fight past my fear. Um, Everything that I've done, I've pretty much done my own type of way. My mother said I was grown when I came out. I always was grown, and it's funny a lot of times to me, but it also shows how I always walked my own walk and created my own path, not realizing that I have a lot of people in place to guard and protect me from the death, dying, or losing in the life. You know, uh, going through so many things as a young man, I'm thankful to be here. So when you hear the tone of my voice and the passion that I speak about, it's only because I know I have so many of my partners and friends that's not here. So to be in a place that I can speak to young men, and they really listen to me. They all call me. I know that's the saying. Sometimes people get around us, we may have fear, or the gray hairs, or you're bald. Yeah, I'm rocking that hat tonight. That's why I'm coming open and honest, but punk is something that we must start taking in as a badge of honor. And like I said, that integrity, that honesty, that humility. It's a lot of different words that we have to invest in ourselves to, to be that person, to honor that title. Punk is real. That's family. I know we all probably throw different little nicknames around, but to me, you gotta walk the walk. And I'm gonna be that example of it. I'm not gonna criticize because criticizing is not it's not my job. But I am gonna critique and speak to you in a manner with respect and humility because I understand I was that young man that was lost and confused in the wilderness. I was that young man struggling to find my way through the forest, to find my way to the opening, to the light, to see, to be able to see, to be able to gravitate to a better place. So when I speak to my young brothers and I see the struggle that's in their spirit, and I talk to them and I say, man, give me a number. I'm not ashamed to ask for their number. Give me a number. I'm gonna check on them, and I really do check on them. I'm gonna send them a text. I'm gonna send them something inspirational. I'm always gonna try to uplift them because right now it's hard. Society has made it so hard, and the limitations that prevents us from growth is because we haven't been taught. A lot of kids came up during the era of the crack epidemic, the drug epidemic, where parents and families became submissive to poison that's been put out there. As of myself, so understanding that these things have created a friction within the, the growth. There's certain levels of growth that you must go through, stages of growth that you should go through when you're developing, when you're growing up as a young man. And I say young man because that's the one we're really losing right now. Every time I turn on Facebook or turn on social media or just anytime it's our young kids taking life or losing life, and that's what I want to change. I want to be a system in that. It's funny that this is episode 7, and 7 years ago, a picture popped up on my phone today as a memory, and it was all my boys. I had 13 of them, and I had them in ballroom dancing, and I had them in culinary classes. I had them in self-defense, anti-bullying classes. I just thought of things because I wasn't that big sports guy. Everywhere I go, I love the baseball games, and everybody just assumes that um, I know about sports, and really does. And I make jokes about it with my brothers and stuff. A Super Bowl time, I'm in the softball team, that's a baseball team. I like the team, that's a basketball team. But they know that's not my purpose. That's not what drives me. I came up in a time where in my household it wasn't about you're gonna watch sports watching or different type of events. That wasn't around me. So I ended up watching stuff with my mother, and my mother usually watched movies, documentaries, books. I had to read to book out, cut the TV off, show you homework. I had the strict structure that I deviated from. And as young men, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times our parents get upset, fed up. And one thing I say is don't never leave the kids. For what they go through, I don't care if they got time, if they, whatever they have to go through, you need to be there with them because that's your child. and they one thing they need is a support and cover them even through their dysfunctional behavior, even through their craziness, even with them getting in trouble. You still got to be the parent of the understanding that God sent you that vessel. So you must be the one to protect it and cover it and be there for it. You can't save them because a lot of times God takes you through the things just to get you stabilized. And once you go through them, you realize that if you make it through it and you got to that point, I gotta show honor to some. And that honor means I gotta give honor to God. And that means I have to resemble what all He brought me through. Now I gotta change it. And that's the problem for many times. Learning to allow God to work on children all the time. I think that's something that happened for me. I was allowed to go through some things that, it wasn't easy. I got punished. I got whooping sometimes. I still kept it moving. I got put out a couple of times to the last. So it was just so much that I went through that really molded me to this person that when I see young people, I want to help. I want to take care of them. I want to love them. It's a place of security that I want to give them. Had a few years back, and that was one of the things that gravitated, and that's something that really that stuck with me. Kids gravitate towards me. I mean, they. I was working at U.N.C Ministries. Shout out to my old job. And it was a little baby, and all she was Jay, 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 Jay. My grandson is the same way. It's like we don't understand where that comes from, and that spirit of God. And that's what makes me so loving and so caring for him because I understand that's what he put me inside. I am a protector. I am a cover. I am a nurturer. That's something that I was talking, about my wife. She's like, everybody says women are nurturers. No, man is the nurturer. God made us as the nurturer. In a lot of different countries, the women while in different foreign lands, the man stayed back. Women were the warriors. The concept is so different because we've been trained in a different way. America has trained us in a certain way because we're never supposed to be trained. We're supposed to be able to worship God, choose God, operate in a vessel that's being guided and protected and covered. But everything man it drains all the spirituality out of the life of the day. Spirituality has disappeared in the day-to-day movement of life. That's something that I'm praying that this podcast, this platform can bring back into the cycle of life for yoga. I'm really gonna start branching out more because that's like I said, I was comfortable in the background, but I wake up with a twitch and an irritability that is not allowing me to rest. When God put something in you, you gotta get it out. You're gonna disrupt your world. You're gonna shake up your day. You're gonna dismantle and disconnect some things connected to you just to allow you to gravitate and move and operate in the vessel that He wants you to be in. This is from the spiritual side of what God has bestowed in me. I don't have no other side. Like I say, the man that I came from, don't get me wrong, get around both sides of the left. I have a good time, but everybody can tell you one thing you don't get me is the truth. That I'm be straight up. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't, and I'm not judging it. I can't allow you to sit there as a man and speak in a way and not understand your action is affecting the things that you go because that's what I can't. It's not for us to blame. You can't point the finger. As men, as we grow up, we start understanding that as a man, I have to represent something better and something more positive in the community. I got to be a role model. And a lot of people say, that ain't my job. If you give life to a child, that's your job. For God to give life to you, that was your job. Anytime you're put in a position that young men can look at you, rappers, sports stars, entertainers, I've never been starstruck. I can see you, and don't have to see you. I can walk past you. I'm not gonna lose my mind because God poured into me just like He poured into you. I'm just as famous as you are. My name rings bells just like yours. You know, maybe not at that magnitude, but as long as I'm speaking this positive energy out, God is gonna make my name speak out for me. It's gonna be something that He put in me to do. That's the plateau I want to form. Is I want men to resemble something. Let's stop resembling the guy that nobody wants to know. The guy that's not progressing and not moving forward in a positive way. I'm not talking about work. I'm not talking about career. I'm not talking about the ladies. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking literally coming to a place where we're fighting back to be a strong vessel amongst our family. We're fighting back to be the cover and protection that's needed in our family, in our own lives. It, this evening, I got up, I shaved, I cut my hair, I took a shower, and I said, "This is something God has been pouring it on me." I had a brother call me yesterday. Big ups, bro. Big ups to you, man. You make me feel like I can do it. Brother, you got it, man. You got it. He said, I know. He said, just calm down. And the main thing he told me, appreciate it, man. He said, talk to them, you talk to me. This is the brother that we vibe, we build, we converse with each other, and we get advice. We get manly advice. And at times, it has to be to a point where we have to tell each other the hard truth. That's the thing. People don't want to speak the hard truth. And as men, that's what we're supposed to give to a fellow man. But you have to give it with effort. You have to give it with compassion. You have to give it with humility. And most of the time, you only gain those type of things is when you go through something. You have been to the bottom, crawled. We call unifying the community. So I looked up another acronym for it, and it was never lose. Never lose it. We are a group of people that always find a way to survive, even at our lows. We find a way to survive, and that's something we're not putting back into our youth. As kids, as young kids that's killing themselves, as young kids that's taking lives. So I really want us to get back to pouring that into that resilient fight, that fight for life that was bred into my era. We go through, most people my age have been through it all. Prison, drugs, alcoholism, women, you name it. We've been through it all. So I say to the brothers that's like me, that's been through it all, we got to join forces, man. We got to lock arms together. We got to be out here fighting that good fight. Can't no longer be the womanized about how many we got, but we're not mentally healthy, we're not emotionally healthy. You know, that's the kick. A lot of times we're looking good on the outside, but on the inside we're torn off apart. And that's because we have burned all the bridges and we done cut off all the people that really had some investment in our we understanding that the only greatness that I have comes from comes from the creator, comes from God. We're learning to allow my voice to give and teach and speak and pour out. You know, it's a big world out here. And that's something that I really want to try to get to a place where I can get young men that are able to travel outside of their surrounding. You know, get to see other things in other places, be able to relate and talk and understand and see that this is everywhere. You know, society and the system set up this program for for black people everywhere. You know, it's a hood, it's a community, it's a community center, it's the same wherever you go. But we're all struggling in life. That's what I want things like this platform to spread out. I want it to blow up. And it's just for monetary purpose. You know, I take care of myself. I know how to save. I'm not running the street. I'm not come home. I cook I cook my own meal. You know, my wife cooks my meal. We cook stuff. We take care of one another. And that's what we have lost in our families, in our homes, in our communities. We have lost that manly man that stands up and you can see it. You know, I've been writing a lot. You know, I've pretty much been writing my own biography and something that I've written. You know, I've noticed how the people that were in my life that were men, they will put their full me. I had a next door neighbor that was a chief of police. And when I say he used to get me help in his yard, and now I'm starting to realize that was one of God's vessels. He had a son, but he used to get me to help him in the yard, and he'd talk to me because he seen me going astray. He seen me going the wrong direction. That's our job. That's our position. That's what we need to be in the community. You know, our kids need to socialize. Social media has taken them out of it. Socialize, being able to tell someone how they feel, that fear of intimidation, that fear of embarrassment. So it's easy to get on and it's easy to bully somebody. So through social media. We have to get them back to the place of speaking. That's why I said visionary program, that's what I want to incorporate. It is um, start preparing young people and really socializing. Um, I went back and got my degree in human services. Human services is a broad topic. It has so many um, twists and turns. You know, you study psychology, you study chemistry, you study sociology, you study um, so many different programs and classes that I want to be able to show these kids something. All of them, every kid doesn't gravitate for it. They have to have a safe place to come in. And I don't care, I talk kids at 20, really your mind hasn't developed yet. Your cognitive thinking hasn't prepared yourself yet. I used to be that kid that wondered, like, why am I doing these things? Until I grew up and realized that I didn't know no better. My frontal lobe wasn't fully formed. It wasn't prepared. It wasn't molded and structured yet. That doesn't come until a certain age. God created us in a way that stages of our life goes along with the development of a life. goes on the development of our internal organs and life and cycle. So certain things that we work on when you skip the cycle, that's where immaturity comes in. That's when we behave like children. Because when you skip over a cycle, when you start thinking early, when you start thinking yourself, when you start doing certain things that we can say, skip over a cycle. So now you're at 30 or 40 years old, and we see you out at the club where you are, at the time you are misuse fire. That's something that we have to change. It- These are things that we're losing biggest battle is our children. We're losing ourselves, first of all. I think my brother said once, we not say it all the time. We are turning into a we're losing the battle of life. And life wasn't meant to be lost. We were meant to live it, enjoy it. Every time I look up and see a picture, somebody sticking their little finger. That was a certain degree of disrespect when I came up. Now it's a certain, I don't know what it means or what it is you saying F the world, but this is the mindset of our young because we're not showing and teaching them nothing but, you know, what a park and a turn up and nothing. And I have fun. No, no, no. Hey, don't get me wrong. Different time, different era. But as a grown, I consider myself a mature man at this point in my life, a loving man at this point in my life. I don't want them to have to go through the same cycles and frustration and dysfunctional thoughts and irrational thinking and mood swings and all the different things that we possess inside of us. And then we get to a certain age and midlife crisis, we lose our mind, we lose our understanding. We're fighting with our wives, we're fighting with our children, we're drinking too much, we're doing so much of everything else because we're not trying to get to a place of settling and learning how to flow for what God has. I didn't think I could go this long, this by myself, but I really want to thank every that gives me support, everybody that believes in what I believe, that pushes me, everybody that gives me that positive energy, that pours into joy. Thank you so much. South Carolina, have no regrets. The South truly changed my life, and it made me a better person. It brought me out into the person that I am today. So before I go, I like to read something. This is not necessarily a poem. I usually read something when I get done. This is just more so. This is something for I'm written for. Uh, this is one of my writings. This is something for my wife. I think one day something went on. And I wanted to express, my thoughts. I'm always in a spiritual place, excuse me, trying to think of things, stay in the righteous mind where I'm not being ugly, where I'm not too too much of the old and not enough of the new. If you understand, you have to kill that old person. But I'm gonna start um, to my wife. If God sent you a man, you may feel like this man has torn down the person that you are. But for the plan that God has for you and for us, and where and what God needs us to do, God sent him to iron out wrinkles and blemishes so she can resemble her husband with no spot, flaws, or resistance. Once humility resonates in your spirit, then God will use this same man to restart the rebuilding process. As a husband, we must start dealing with our own insecurities and unstable ways. by working on the beast that lies within us. God didn't grant us a healthy judge, demeanor, or abuse. So as we focus on rebuilding the temple of God, which means yourself, then your wife will start gravitating toward the center of existence that resembles thee. The free will God placed over our lives was meant for everyone and everything. Love, respect, understanding, and guidance has to be an action based on free will. You should never use manipulation, force, anger, or guilt tactics to receive these godly gifts or wisdom. Or as a man, I believe we take ownership of this word without resembling or representing God and his patience he has with us. We assume being a man starts at 18 or 21, but being a man doesn't have anything to do with physical or numeric status, but the growth is elevation of the maturity within the wisdom of God. If you're not leading yourself in a manner or character that God has placed over you, then we are not operating as a representative of God's leadership in our lives. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for listening. Um, and I'll be back with another episode. Just stay with me. I'm going to keep writing, keep helping. I'm going to have some people come in sometime and help me. So just want to say blessings, blessings, blessings to everyone. And once again, happy birthday.